So, Josh, I got to tell you, you got a win recently. Big win.
A win.
Yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner.
So I showed James The Witch recently and The Lighthouse. So a couple Eggers films. And without really giving him context or mentioning much, I just showed him the cover for The Witch on. We watched both on 4K disc, folks. So calm down. They're both great. But I showed him the cover for the Witch, and I was like, all right, pronounce this. No context. I didn't tell him how you pronounce it. Nothing. And he said The Vitch. So big win for you. So,
I mean, that is clearly a V.
All right. I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you. But I've heard people say witch in front of Eggers, and he has not corrected them.
No, he's even said like, yeah, it's called a witch.
Okay.
Like, but
yeah,
bro, I see the two V's. Like,
that's what James said. Yeah, he's like, that's two V's, bro. So, big win for you.
well,
But
good on James.
how he felt about the film, you'll have to take that up for him, or with him, rather.
I assume that's not his cup of tea.
No, he didn't dislike it.
Oh,
Yeah, he liked Lighthouse more. Lighthouse was definitely more his cup of tea.
that's fair.
Yeah, which I agree. If I were ranking Eggers, it'd be Lighthouse, Nosferatu, Vitch, and then Northman at the bottom. Although they're all great. There's no film of his that's not great. So
I still think my, no pun intended, but pun, go is Vivitch. But Nosferatu is definitely a close second because it's it's like my dream movie.
okay.
But I am a sap for ye old horror and like mythology.
Yeah, I still love it. I think it's great. It held up upon this last rewatch just as well. So I've seen it quite a few times at this point. But welcome.
Have you seen Monkey yet?
Oh no! Did you watch it?
Me either. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't actually end up going out to see it. I was gonna say I might have time this weekend in between. I'm doing some pre-Oscar videos, but so we'll see how things go. At the point people are watching this, the Oscars will probably have aired. But either way, welcome back to Starlight Shadows. I'm Dom. That's Josh. We have a hell of a show today because there's a couple things we need to talk about before we continue our comics here. So, a couple things dropped in between our shows. And first thing, we'll start with the fun stuff here. Andor season 2 trailer dropped, and I do have it pulled up here. I don't know. Were there any? Well, first of all, Josh, what did you think of the trailer?
I'll be real with you.
Yeah.
I only watched your reaction video to it. I haven't watched the full trailer.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's do this then. I do have it pulled up, so we could play through it once really quick, and then we could just discuss after. But yes, for those of you who have seen my reaction video, I loved it. I thought that this was one of the best Star Wars trailers yet, and I just thought it was a real. I just thought it was so fitting for Andor in particular. It's one of those things where if other trailers had used the music for it, I probably would have, said something else about it. But because of that setup with the Andor season 1, I was really enjoying this one. But yeah, anyway, if there's anything, we'll play it really quick. If there's anything that stands out to you, Josh, go ahead and let me know after, and we can talk about it here. But yeah, we'll go ahead and give it a watch really quick here. All right, let me pull this up, guys. Sorry. Here we go. I'm not sure. Here's the issue. I'm not sure I'm sharing sound. You guys are going to hang on here really quick. Share a tab or screen instead. Okay, so we're going to have to do it this way, guys. Sorry. That's fine. Okay, so here we go. We'll go ahead and watch this really quick. Can you hear that? No. Technical difficulties, folks, so we do apologize for that. Let me see if we can do this really quick. Let's see here. Entire screen. Oh, that's why I didn't have the audio shut at that time. Okay. Should be able to hear this now. So some behind the scenes look for you guys, and here we go. You can hear it now?
Yeah.
Perfect.
We're in a war. You want to fight? Or you want to win? Last night I dreamed that the world had turned. All our hopes had come to be. The revolution starts now.
What a swell party this is.
Remember this moment. You're here, you're right here, and you're ready to fight.
So there we have it, the Andor Season 2 trailer. Anyway, Josh, what do you think? Anything that stands out? I saw you laughing toward the end. I'm assuming that was a little to do with Saw, but I'm not sure. You can...
Dude, it's like that's Saw Gerrera's voice is just like
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, he's a wonderful actor, but just how his like how Saw Gerrera's character is such a meme to me. Just like how I said to you, save the rebellion.
100%. Yeah. No, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, he's such a meme.
But he's doing what he's supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
I remember when this show got announced, you and I were working together, and I said, I grabbed the toy from Rogue One. I went, and we're getting a show about him. Why?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And this looks like one of the better Star Wars products that we're getting.
Absolutely.
I like that Space Douche showed up, and his 2 seconds is him just being a douchebag.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, it looks good. It looks like they're kind of treating this like a trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like when you get a trailer, it's like acclaimed. By
Yeah.
What Star Wars thing have you seen that had a quote that said acclaimed?
That's my point. Like, I think that this thing, it just feels, I don't know, like this is what I wish they did with a lot of the other content. Like you know, just give it that. Take it seriously, I suppose. You know what I mean? Like this just feels like it's taking it seriously, and I think if some of the other things are marketed a little bit more seriously, then they might get more viewership, you know, or more eyes on it. Like, I thought Skeleton Crew, the marketing was terrible. Like, it was terrible marketing.
There's barely any marketing.
And it's I mean, it sucks that more people didn't watch it, but like when I hear about like lower viewership on that, it's like I almost have no sympathy. You guys marketed this thing terribly.
It looked like the trailer. You probably go back to even us saying it. The trailer looked like it was trying to like appeal to people like Stranger Things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And when I watch this is the type of trailer I'd expect to see for like a Last of Us season 2. You know what I mean? Like the style of trailer, anyway. And this looks amazing. Yeah. I mean,
it's kind of like what I said. I think I've said it to you before. I know I definitely said it to another friend of the show. Is this Andor reminds me of what would have been a 2010 FX show.
Yeah. No.
Like Sons of Anarchy, the Taboo, Tom Hardy show, Mad Men, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. And
it feels like one of those.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to point out here, just right off the bat. Let me go back to this really quick. Is I know that we've kind of talked about this a little bit, but like I like that it was added to the trailer just to reaffirm this season is going to be called Andor: A Star Wars Story this time around. Instead of just Andor, whatever. So Star Wars Andor, I think, was how they titled the first season. So even this season even has like a different title to it, like, which is really interesting. They're trying to play on the Rogue One thing, obviously, which I understand that from a business perspective for sure. Like, you definitely want, like, I think that I wouldn't say made a mistake, but I think they maybe underestimated like how many people didn't realize like this is going to tie into Rogue One so very well in that first season, maybe, and so maybe they're trying to, get, like I said, like we were saying this whole time, just take it more seriously, get as many eyes on this season as possible, and but it's one of those shows too that like it grew over time, like more people watched the first season as it, went on, and what I'm happy about though, because this also. It didn't get Mandalorian numbers that first season, right? Like, it wasn't maybe as low as, like, Acolyte Skeleton Crew viewership, but, like, I don't think it did, like, Mandalorian numbers either. So, what I'm happy about is that they negotiated at least another season before even entering into season 1, so we got a completed story. So, from my perspective, that's one of the great things about Andor. But yeah, we saw Krennic in there. We saw K2SO. A lot of people are going to be excited about that, even though it was a shot's worth. At least we got to see him finally, or allegedly K2SO, because they showed that K2 droid in droid in the first season, and it wasn't K2. But this one has to be, right? I mean, it makes sense.
Do you remember that though? Like before the show came out, there's like all these conflicting things if he was even in it.
Yeah. Well, I remember they brought. Oh gosh, Alan Tudyk. They brought Alan Tudyk out on stage, I think at a D23 prior. So we all just assumed he was going to be in it. And then I remember Alan Tudyk did an interview, might have been on the Happy Sad Confused podcast, where he did an interview and he said he's not in it. Everybody was so confused.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, everybody was so confused. What I actually, you still got those 2 episodes left of Andor, right? Those.
I got the 1.
Oh, you're down to 1 now? Okay.
Yeah, I only had 1.
Oh, okay. I thought you had 2. My bad. So
I'm just going to restart it.
I got you. But you got till April 22nd. Yeah.
I'll try to restart like the first week of April.
A couple different things here. One of the things I'm going to say this without giving away too much about the ending, but like.
I know how the story ends.
Okay. So Bix.
They get blown up on a planet.
Well. Not really, but yeah. But Bix getting in the rebellion action, it looks like, was really interesting to me, because like even just knowing what you know of her character from season 1, like she wasn't really in the action, so to speak. I mean, she helped Andor throughout a lot of different things, but her getting in on the rebellion is going to be really interesting. And then it makes me question, well, where in the hell is she during Rogue One? Along with the rest of these characters, which is like, I think a lot of characters are going to die this season, like when you start to...
Well, you'd have to, because you're going to have to transition him from where he is there to...
Exactly.
To Rogue One.
Exactly. So, yeah, it's going to be really interesting. It looks very intense. I'm happy to see... I mean, obviously she was coming back, but Deidre Miro is back. Like that's one of the best Star Wars villains they've had in a while, just because... Like, I just love that it's a character that's great at her job, like it's just...
Bro, I found her Black series and I didn't pick it up. I was out of town.
Oh, no.
And it still bugs me.
Yeah, she's a great villain. I'm stoked to see her back. And then Luthen and Mon Mothma, obviously, were both exciting to see. What's really fascinating is the rollout of the episodes. Did you see the episode schedule? The 3 episodes a week. It's not 1. So they're going to have this thing done in a month's time.
So they're going to do what they did with Spider-Man?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. Well, that was pretty much what they did with Spider-Man, yeah. So they're going to try with 3 episodes a week, which I found very interesting. I'm a little conflicted just because it's not like Spider-Man. I mean, these are longer episodes, usually. So yeah. I'm a little conflicted on that part of it. So it's going to be a lot to cram, but what's nice is that we do these shows at the end of the week anyway, so we should be able to binge them, I think, right before, I would imagine.
I don't know.
Cover.
I don't know if I'll be alive.
That's true. A lot of things going on in the world right now, but yeah,
it's been a general. I don't know. I'm not going to.
Yeah, who knows? What the time will tell. But hopefully the plan would be to just binge 3 a week and then go through them. But. Let's see here. Other than that, though, man, visually it just looks phenomenal. I mean, this show still holds as the best live action visually of the Star Wars live action series, and And even just going back through it, it's like they shot everything on location. Didn't look like they were using the volume stage at all, which doesn't mean that they didn't. It just doesn't look like they did, which I really enjoy that every single time. So, yeah, man, I'm so excited for this. In other news, though, we have, I think, probably the biggest thing that's happened in Lucasfilm since you and I have been doing this show anyway. For me anyway, this would be the biggest. And we were talking about this a little bit off air, but a lot more information has come out, and we've lost Josh, so no clue where he went. But I'll go ahead and get started on the article part really quickly here. And hopefully Josh comes back. Lucasfilm boss Kathleen Kennedy expected to retire this year. The prolific producer over the Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises through ups and downs since 2012. After more than a decade in a galaxy far, far away, Josh is back. Hey, you're back. After more,
I got a net split, so
you got a what?
Reconnect. My net split, so I had to reconnect.
Gotcha. So just go through the article from THR here. After more than a decade in a galaxy far, far away, Kathleen Kennedy is charting course toward retirement. The Lucasfilm boss has told associates the plans to retire by the end of 2025. A source confirms to The Hollywood Reporter. Puck reported the news Monday night. Rests for Kennedy and Lucasfilm were not immediately available for comment. Kennedy joined Lucasfilm in 2012 as co-chair alongside Star Wars creator George Lucas, and a few months later took the reins after Disney paid $4 billion for the company and Lucas exited. So, crazy stuff. This is probably, like I said, the biggest thing that's happened since you and I have been doing a Star Wars show together. Definitely the biggest shakeup within Lucasfilm. So, for me, I got a couple things. So, just my initial reaction to the news when it dropped. I mean, I'm happy. I am because we've been talking about this, Lucasfilm. There's a lot of improvements that have needed to be made, and a lot of the problems and a lot of the issues that have been going on there are due to her lack of being able to get on the same page with creative people over there. Does that mean I don't think Kathleen Kennedy's a great producer? Of course she is. She's one of the best of all time, but she's not a great studio head, and this is where it comes down to for me. Is why would you want this job anymore? I mean, because everything that I've heard, so from the time the article dropped, CNN was saying that they kind of looked into this and that they were saying, well, she's not retiring. Well, there was kind of a follow-up interview with Deadline with Kathleen Kennedy, and it turns out that she didn't really enjoy the verbiage of the retiring, because she's not retiring from movies. As I've always said, she can go and start her own studio if she wants to tomorrow. She can. Or at least after she steps out from Lucasfilm. So that's always been my thing, and that's probably what she'll do, make original stuff and not work in Star Wars anymore. And again, like I said, why would she want to? From what I heard, this has been going on since November, from my understanding, and which is really interesting because that's like right around the time that Acolyte had gotten canceled. And to me, like, if I'm her, I don't want any part of this, Yeah, and that's one of the things that has been talking about the succession plan that has been kind of going around from people in the know, is that, because it was funny, because even before this news had dropped, I was going to bring up to you how I had heard from people in the know on this, that we talked about Simon Kinberg being brought in to do a trilogy, and Derek Hoffman's in some kind of creative role over there. We're still not very clear on that, I don't think, but the thing that I had heard, that all kind of happened at the same time, and what I'd kind of heard from people in the know is basically that's all what makes that hire different, and actually all the hires from 2025, Gosling and so on and so forth. What makes these hires different is that they are actually part of a big transitional period in Lucasfilm. And then, fascinatingly enough, the very next day, this report comes out. And so, from my understanding, there is a succession plan in place. Kathleen Kennedy said as much in Deadline that they already know who will be stepping in to take her place. Now, again, I was actually surprised by this, but the name I keep hearing is Dave Filoni. I heard Dave is the guy, and immediately I kind of did a little bit of
Is he?
Yeah.
really done much in Star Wars, though?
Dave?
Yeah.
Very good. No. So immediately I kind of go, ugh. And the only reason why is because he hasn't done the studio stuff that Kathleen does. He's great for creative. I'm 100% on board with Filoni being a creative. My only issue is the studio side of this. So recently what I heard, Celebration, they're going to transition Filoni and Carrie Beck. So they're pulling a DC. Filoni and head of creative, Carrie Beck on the side of producing. Carrie Beck has been a producer on a lot of the projects. And so she's going to be great. She's been kind of actually groomed for the role of basically what Kathleen Kennedy does now, except that there's going to be somebody else in charge of the creative, which is Filoni, which will work out, I think, really well. My only worry on Filoni, and don't take this as any insult to him, because I'm so happy for him if he is getting the role. Because all this is alleged, let's remember that, but I'm just what's going around. So if Filoni does get this role, I'm going to be happy for him because he's worked for it. He deserves like head of all creative, not just like limited creative. He deserves head of all creative. And I think that that's going to be a fantastic role for him, and I think he'll be very happy to take it. My only hesitancy is I just don't want to only see Filoni things. But it'll be a lot better. Even if we do get only Filoni things, though, it'll be a lot better than what we have now because it'll feel like more of a unified vision. My only worry is that after just watching that Andor trailer, we don't get an Andor or a show like it. We don't get another Skeleton Crew or a show like it. You know, there's other variety things that work that that's my only hesitancy with Dave, because I know how much he holds true to the George stuff, you know, and great. I think it'll make a lot of people happy, and that's why I think it's the right move to put him in charge of creative. So don't take me the wrong way here. I'm saying for a personal, selfish reason, I would really want to see, you know, more shows like Andor. I hope we do. I just don't know. But I'm happy if Dave is the guy, because that means for me, selfishly, again, more Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka. You know what I mean? I hope we get more stuff like that too. So anyway, so that's the word right now. And again, it's alleged as that Celebration. It's going to be him and Carrie Beck walking on stage to announce that they'll be transitioning into Kennedy's role. And then obviously Kennedy will see things through till the end of the year as the original report. And she'll get the producer credit on Levy's thing and Mandalorian and Grogu and all that. And then I think every project after that is going to be Filoni and Beck. The only thing that I would say to that is it actually, when I'm putting the pieces together, it makes a lot of sense. Initially, I was hesitant about the Kimberg hire, but if I hear that Filoni's in charge of it and it was his decision, it actually makes me a little bit more excited because they worked on Rebels together, you know? So if it's Filoni and Kimberg, or Kimberg working under Filoni to write it, then that's a different story, right? A new trilogy. I'm so stoked for that idea. Now that sounds a lot better. So I don't know, Josh, what do you got on all this?
I'm gonna, if you mind if I quote someone else real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna quote Ben Affleck. I agree.
Oh, very good. That's obviously the most famous Affleck quote of all time.
It is. I agree. No, I mean, basically where I'm sticking with this, and I've been adamant about this. This has been a recurring thing with me. I just don't speculate on Star Wars anymore, man. I've learned not to put any bets on anything.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, when is Celebration?
April. So, a couple months. And Kathleen Kennedy herself has said that this will probably come in months, or she said months to a year, but let's be honest, we know it's probably going to be Celebration. It just makes sense.
I mean, I think Star Wars needs some form of shakeup. My main thing is quit announcing movies without scripts.
Yeah, and that won't happen if she's not in charge. That's the thing.
Yeah,
you know,
like I like how many times I said on here, it's like, oh, this person got a movie. Like, I don't care. Like,
yeah.
Doesn't have a title.
Yeah,
they just ate the Star Wars film.
Yeah,
and then for 7 years, we're just like, oh yeah, Michael's Star Wars movie.
Right. No, I get it. I think removing the problem is how it happens. Now, this is the other part about it. So that I was hearing and just behind the scenes sort of stuff, which is actually it's actually pretty revealing, and it makes again another thing that makes a hell of a lot of sense is Kathleen Kennedy's been in the industry longer than Iger. I mean, Iger's been in the industry for a while, but Iger's supposed to be quote unquote her boss, and from my understanding, is because of sort of Kathleen Kennedy's tenure in the industry that Iger doesn't really tell her no. And I kind of get that from an industry standpoint of, you know, her sort of prestige in the industry. I get that, but the other reason that they want Filoni in there is because they can tell Filoni no. That's what I heard, but I don't think that that's a bad thing either, because I do think that they are going to give Filoni full reign. I think that's why you bring in a Dave Filoni. But I also think, let's say Filoni does like 3 projects, right? And one of the 3 doesn't work. Like, let's say 2 of them are great, but like that third project is just didn't land with the fans, right? Or maybe it was even just middling, right? But those first 2 projects are like some of the best stuff we'd seen from Star Wars. Well, whatever went wrong on that third project, if it was Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger couldn't say, Kathleen, I think what went wrong is this, that, and this. Maybe we should change it, right? And then she would just do whatever she wanted. But with Filoni, you could say that, and Filoni would have to listen, essentially, and try to course correct, is my point. So if you think about the pile-up of issues in Star Wars, this makes a lot of sense with the behind-the-scenes stuff, with not being able to basically tell Kathleen no, which is my understanding. But on top of that, I am told that this is she wants to leave. This is not nobody pushed her out. She wants to go. And as I said, it just makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't you want to go at this point? You clearly are not cut out for this, I think, at this point. And it makes sense that you'd want to get your successor in place, have that plan. I think Filoni and Carrie Beck are going to be fantastic at this, personally.
What's wild to me is how, you know, she's like at it like, no, I am not retiring, right?
From movies, she's retiring from movies.
Yeah, but not from movies. And I'm like, dog, you are 71.
Yeah, 71.
Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, Clint Eastwood still directs like 3 movies a year, so I don't know, man. It's maybe not 3, but he's done like 2 a year. He had a real streak there where he was doing like 2 a year. So I don't know, man. I mean, to start a company or like a studio where you want to produce, I don't think is like that big of it. I mean,
you remember when Gran Torino was going to be like his last movie? That was like a whole thing.
That was like a whole thing, and then he just kept making them like all the time. Yeah.
And I think it's like someone didn't tell what the word last meant.
Exactly.
That was my last movie. Then I'll make another one.
Yeah. Let's say in April that happens, though. Are you going to be excited? It's Filoni and Carrie Beck, and I mean, I think at the very least you have to admit, like, the problem of projects not happening is going to be gone. You know, for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be excited, but I just want results, like, before anything.
Of course,
because Dave could show up and like fumble the bag. That could happen.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm not taking it out the table. That's my only hesitancy, is that he's too strict on George stuff. Now, again, allegedly, because I've heard, because he is strict on George stuff, I know that he doesn't like Old Republic. That's what I've heard, is that he doesn't like Old Republic.
I mean, it's fine. I honestly, it'd be okay if they just kept that a video game.
I hope we get that remake still. Then. That's
fine.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, after a while, like, I feel like doing Old Republic,
I don't know,
is
man,
going to get you crucified no matter what you do.
All right, fair, but like selfishly, I still want to see it.
Yeah. It's just like I was like, oh god, this is the headache that would be.
Yeah, like selfishly, I want to see it, and I want to see it like adapted from the actual, stories that are already there. Like, if you stick to those, if you adapt it like as well as The Last of Us, and I understand that's like 1 in a million that happens, but like if you adapt it that well, then I think it could work.
Hey, when does Last of Us 2 come out?
April.
Okay, so
April's
if
busy.
they fumble, so if they fumble the bag, we will officially become the Last of the Starlight. That will be the new name of the show.
If Last of Us fumbles the bag?
No, if Star Wars. If
Oh,
Filoni and all of them fumbled the bag, we'll officially change her name to the Last of the Starlight, and we'll just cover Last of Us content.
oh, gotcha, gotcha. I do think that it could really work. It's gonna be better than where we are now. I can tell you that, because even if it's a unified vision that like not all the fans are on board with, it'll feel, even a unified vision that feels more like George is going to be better than what we have, I think, of this, you know. Again, I like the idea of having variety, but that variety needs to be consistent at the same time. And I think if Filoni's vision feels a little bit more unified, and like it doesn't have variety, I think it will at least be consistent. Like everything's going to feel really consistent. And you look at something like Ahsoka, man, like even the people that weren't too hot on it, I think everybody that watched it is like, I want to see where it goes though. You know, like I want to see where this is going, because it still has that feel of this could actually, it still opens up a pipeline of this could be the future of Star Wars. You know, this could be, this New Republic age that we're in could actually really give us a lot to play with. You got a really big sandbox there, and I think Filoni knows that. And that's the other thing I want to credit Dave on, is he can actually make all of Star Wars feel very connected. And it's the way he did it in Rebels, you know. It was great. Now he's just got a lot more content to try to string together, but I think he is the guy to do it, you know, after doing it in Rebels. So, you know, I'm confident with some caution, you know, some trepidation, you know. But for me, Dave has been, he's worked for me, you know. I like the Filoni stuff. I just want him to open his, I just hope he comes into it with a slightly open mind and just, you know, it keeps people in check, but gives things a shot too, even though I just don't want him to say, what would George do every single time? I want his own instinct in there a little bit too. You know what I mean? That's all I would ask. But keep it unified at the same time, you know, balanced. Everything in mediation, right? That's the term. Yep. So, all right. So,
we do have another news article.
We do?
Yes. There was the Star Wars March toy stream.
Can you send that to me?
Yeah, I will, because there's something in there that's to be excited about.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, send that over. We'll throw it in.
Okay, I just throw it over to the. You want it in this chat or the Facebook?
Facebook would be probably best.
Yeah,
It'd be easier for me to pull it up. Yeah.
There's a slide for every figure they're announcing. There's some in there I think you'll be excited for.
Awesome. Yes, Josh coming in with the toys. This is why I like having you too, because you know when the stuff's coming. I don't pay attention to the toys as much as I should, even though I'm a huge collector of them. Let's see. Here we go. All right. So we have the Star Wars March 2025 stream recap. Let's look at what we got. I'm already liking what I'm seeing. All right. So let's read through some of this list here. So
if you go down, you can actually see all the images.
Oh, really? Okay. Perfect.
Yeah. Like, say.
Yeah.
Like screen grab.
Gotcha. All right. There we go. All right. So I have no idea who. I do know who this is, but I don't know why I would want one of these.
It's because they're doing the Cantina playset, like the HasLab, like they did with the Ghost.
Oh, this is part of the HasLab. Okay.
Yep. So that's part of the HasLab. So if I remember right, if you donated to like that not Kickstarter with the campaign,
yeah,
you got the werewolf.
Yeah. I just don't want to get excited about HasLabs because I know I'll never get it.
Well, I mean, they're really expensive. Like, I think the photo of it should be in here. It's going to be expensive.
Yeah. I mean, they're neat. But
yeah, it's just $500.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Let's see. This is all HasLab stuff. Looks like. But this is neat. All right. Is this part of it too? Yeah. See, that's neat. That's really neat, though.
So what I do like about him is his arm is an accessory that comes off, so you can do the cut-off scene.
Yeah, man, those card backs though, they're cool.
Yeah, I don't think the werewolves is on this.
Oh, that sucks. But I get it though.
Or at least in this saying, but he is part of the
I got you.
promo.
Oh, what happened to my camera? There we go.
Oh,
Sorry about that. Okay.
I like he has a pint of blue milk. Yeah, there we go. That's
This is neat though.
yeah. There's place set up there.
Of course you get a Luke with it. That sucks. Gosh dang it. Oh man. Okay. This is not HasLab, I'm assuming.
No, yeah,
So-
we're out of the HasLab stuff. This is the wider release.
This is pretty cool. I like this figure a lot. Imperial Armor Commando.
Good army builder.
Yeah, I might. I'll think about that one.
Oh, your bank account's gonna hurt more. Don't worry.
I know. I'll think about this one.
The good ones are coming.
This is really neat. Oh boy. I see what you mean.
Look how Yoda's looking at you.
I know. He's reaching into my pocket with the Force going, you like Star Wars, don't you? Grabbing my wallet. Oh man, these are cool. Oh, that is neat. As much as I wasn't a fan of Mando Season 3, just look at those. Oh,
I'm a sap if they can hold their helmet. I don't know. That always wins me over.
Yeah. That's too cool. Oh man, I was not a fan of that season, but holy cow, is that cool. Sorry, get over here. God, this is a cool set.
Yeah, so it's going to be the smaller scaled ones, it looks like.
I'll take it. This is such a cool set. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I am actually a fan of the packaging there. What a neat set. Of course, we're getting Imperial Guards. The original Kenner Imperial Guard is one of the best figures ever released by.
Oh, they're so much fun.
Oh my god. So to
There
have
you go.
more. Yeah. Andor. Gosh dang it.
So you're going to like the packaging too, I think.
Oh, look at that. That is cool. Oh my gosh. Look at those. Yeah. Oh, for audio listeners, we're just scrolling through figures, so go to the video. But Krennic, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they're doing the black and red packaging on those.
I know,
Works
yeah.
really well.
Those are probably, yeah. I'm probably gonna have to get both of those, all of this. Wow. Cody. Oh, are they re-releasing
Yeah.
it with Revenge of the Sith packaging?
Yep.
Oh,
That's what I was saying. It's like, God, this line's going to kill me. These are going to be Walmart exclusives.
Oh no! It's the original packaging.
Yep.
Oh no!
I will be all over these.
Oh no! So for the audio listeners, we're getting a Commander Cody with original Revenge of the Sith packaging. No, no! Oh my gosh! Dooku. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yes, I do believe Filoni is now in charge. I don't know how else to explain them making this amazing move for Revenge of the Sith. This is crazy. I mean, Keaton's going to be stoked, right?
Oh, yeah, I already sent it to him.
Oh, my gosh.
You know what's crazy? So R2 is the last one here.
Yeah.
Of the Revenge of the Sith, but we haven't even seen Anakin yet.
I know.
Like, we haven't seen the big hitters yet, and that's going to be interesting. Was there ever a Padme in that line? I want to say there was, but I just don't recall.
No, I don't remember. Yeah, I think there had to be, right? Yeah. But I have been wanting a 501st helmet, so I'm very excited about this, by the way. Because I have been
there was a Padme, so...
There was, okay.
I'm trying to think who all would be in this line. Dooku, Platoon... Oh, dude, Mace Windu is going to sell like crazy. I didn't think about him.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we are.
Star Wars Pipeline, that's what it's called, their version of the HasLab.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I thought that there's some neat stuff coming out of there, and then the amazing poster.
No, for sure. Oh,
Revenge of the Sith.
yeah, that did come out, and we're getting that's the other awesome thing. Re-release in theaters, Yes, we have to do a Revenge of the Sith discussion on the channel.
Oh, yeah.
We will have that now that I actually completely forgot at the beginning of the year. This is the 20th for Revenge of the Sith, and so it's going to be really, really awesome to dive into that. But man, I can't wait to go back to the theater and see that. That's going to be really awesome.
I mean, the pilot to this show was us doing the Phantom Menace, so
the backdoor pilot, because we kind of did it on a different show, but yeah,
but it basically evolved into this.
Exactly. That was the backdoor pilot for this. So yeah, absolutely, and also, having that back in the movie theater and then grabbing a hopefully I get a 501st helmet. I'm gonna grab that helmet. I'll tell you right now, because that helmet is awesome.
That does look cool.
Yeah. I've been actually thinking to myself, I need to get a 501st helmet. I really have been thinking that now that they're putting it out. I'm very excited. So, yeah. All right, guys. So that's the news portion. We are going to talk about some comics here. We are continuing 7 through 12, of Star Wars 2015. And
Smuggler's Moon, I think is what it's called.
So it's I have it right here. It does make up the graphic novel, the second book, Showdown on the Smuggler's Moon. So here we go. Forgot to grab that for the show. Glad it was right there. But yeah, so continuing our discussions from last week, we're going to get into this one. And Josh, I'll start with you. What were your overall thoughts on Star Wars 2015 7 through 12?
So far pretty good. Some things do feel a little rushed near the end. I feel like it's got wrapped up pretty quick. But I will say, I mean, some things too they introduced. I'm like, oh, well, that was it. Okay. But one thing I will say, which I've noticed the older I get, the more I'm enjoying Leia's character. Yeah. Leia in this read has just been fun. Like Han and Leia's story, I enjoyed more than Luke's.
Yeah.
I'm not too crazy on Obi-Wan's journal.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Like, all right, so when I was first reading it, because, I loaded the app and all that, and I clicked, and I finally clicked on the wrong thing. I'm like, why am I getting, like, an old man Luke story? It's like, oh, I'm not a Jedi anymore. I'm like, what is this? Yeah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, Obi-Wan's journal. So then... Yeah. So I thought I did click the wrong issue, but I don't know. I feel like with the Obi-Wan show, too, like this, is it the book of... It's his journal, right? Is that what they call it? The journal?
Journals of Obi-Wan.
Yeah. The Journals of Obi-Wan. I don't know. I keep saying Book of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's not doing it for me, that part.
I gotcha. Yeah, for me, reading this, now I've read this before in the past, but I was actually surprised by how much I enjoyed these issues. A huge improvement, I think, upon last week, actually, for me. I actually really, there were aspects I just absolutely loved in these issues. This wasn't some parts I didn't like. We'll talk about Obi-Wan here in a minute, but overall I really, really actually love these. I was really surprised by how much, actually, and I think from the exception of one little area, I think illustration wise they popped a little bit more. By the way, this is Jason Aaron again, but I think it had a different illustrator working on it, so let me try to find that here really quick. Sorry about that. Simon, Simone Bianchi and Stuart Immonen. Sorry, I know, trying to pronounce names, but that is different than the first six for illustration. Whatever they did, I think probably really worked, because I did find the panels to pop a little bit more.
It looked more smoother and less like caricature.
It did, with the exception of one thing, which I'll get into in a bit. But and I also just thought, like you said, the Leia stuff did read for me very strongly as well. I think that character is just great in this. And I actually really enjoyed the Luke stuff a lot, personally.
I had nothing against the Luke stuff. Yeah. It was just like the Leia was what the standout was for me in this.
There's one thing, initially I think that a lot of the Luke stuff started out slow, but there was a part where it took a turn, and there's a couple things that kind of took place that really made me go, oh my gosh, this is great. This is great. I love where this is going. And I'd forgotten some of that. So quite a bit of it, actually. So yeah, I'm so glad we're going through this one now. This one definitely motivated me to keep going a lot more than the week.
I am a little worried
about
because
just in
so
general.
at least on mine, because I know you have the trade back where I'm doing.
Oh
Marvel app.
yeah.
It said story continues in Vader down. I'm like, oh god, is this when we get into 50 offshoots?
Okay, I'll be your guide. I'll be your guide, Josh. Okay. I have the Vader Down graphic novel, so I'll be your guide and what you need to read and what you don't. So,
because this is where I'm like, oh god, this is when it comes to chore.
Yeah, it won't though, because like really after Vader Down, it goes right back to the main line. So it should be really easy after that. And I don't think they do like a ton of crossover in this line after that, but I'll let you know on that. Yeah, but Vader Down is where it does continue after this. But again, I'm still super stoked about a lot of that because there's a lot of great things in here that I had forgotten about. So let's get the Obi-Wan out of the way because it was issue 7 and then like just out of the way. Oh my gosh, this was not good. I'm just gonna be straight up about it. I think the first time I'd read the Journals of Kenobi, it was like a lot more exciting because we didn't have the Obi-Wan show and it was that potential of what this could evolve into. And then now having seen the Obi-Wan show, you kind of realize like a lot of the flaws in there. I thought the plot of this was weak. There was nothing going on. It felt like it was rushed through. It felt so inconsequential. The writing was terrible. The dialogue was bad.
I laughed when Luke got knocked out. I'm like, well, I guess that explains it.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point?
The only thing bogging this book down for me is that's like this book would have gotten a much higher, letter grade if these journals were not in there. Talk about bad illustration. This is the one point. What were they drawing with Obi-Wan? He looks nothing like Obi-Wan Kenobi. And
I thought it was old man Luke.
I know. He looks nothing like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't buy him at all. The things that he's saying, if you try to like read them in Obi-Wan's voice in your head, it comes off incredibly cheesy. I just thought the dialogue from top to bottom was terrible. A plot about the Aunt Owen and Uncle Owen or Aunt Peru, Uncle Owen and Aunt Peru not paying their taxes as like a B thing. This was a mess. This thing, the whole Kenobi journal stuff was a jumbled mess. I couldn't wait to get back to the main plot. And, outside of Luke just learning a couple little nuggets, it was almost pointless. Like, I don't know. It just...
You actually brought up a point I didn't think about. When I was reading his parts, I didn't hear Obi-Wan's voice. Oh
my god, read it in Obi-Wan's voice in your head, and it gets so much worse. Like, it makes it so much worse. Like, I try to, like, envision these characters saying these things, and when I tried to put...
Yeah, like Leia, she reads like Leia, Luke reads like Luke, Han definitely reads like Han.
Yeah, you probably didn't naturally do that because it's not dialogue that Obi-Wan would say. Like, it just didn't
at first I didn't know it was Obi-Wan.
I know. It doesn't feel like Obi-Wan when you're reading it. And I get that this is supposed to be a more depressed Obi-Wan like we got in the series, but it's just, man, this is not good. I mean, the only part, the only thing that I really liked about the Obi-Wan journal was him trying to reach out to Qui-Gon. Maybe that was like the most consistent thing, I guess that because that consistently kind of plays into the series a little bit. But other than that, like I just was man. And even when he's reaching out to Qui-Gon, he's just like this crazy old man saying. They make him like this crazy old man saying a lot of really jumbled dialogue out loud to his dead master. It just. None of it played. I think every aspect almost of that comic or the comic, the Journals of Obi-Wan thing issue, it failed for me. I just did not like it, and I hope that because I think they might revisit it a couple times more for more answers. I hope that they just write it better moving forward,
or just not do it as a
whole issue
side story.
I know, especially it just felt like they were stretching to make a whole issue, and it wasn't. The story wasn't there. It just, Did you do a Jedi mind trick on them, by the way? I didn't. What's that?
When the water tax collectors show up.
Oh, that's
he does the Jedi mind trick on them,
That's what I gathered. Okay. That's what I gathered.
That even read, I don't know, it read weird to me.
Yeah.
That's just because.
Yeah. like, and again, like, I understood the intention of this comic, and it probably, the intention of it probably needed to be there, but you could have shortened it. This could have been a page worth, you know, like maybe two, you know, of one issue. It just, this was stretching. This is, I did not enjoy this at all. This issue 7 was, oh my God, I was so hesitant to read the rest. And it could have been because of issue 7 that I started to get like, how would you say it? Like I got like really like in this place of not wanting to read anymore. Because and I do think, to be fair, like a lot of the things do like start out slow once we get back to the main story. I think the one thing that I did want to point out that I'm loving in this is actually really helping it for tonal purposes is the opening crawls that they're throwing in there. Like I think those are really working for me. They're actually really well written crawls, and they feel like Star Wars crawls. So I'm enjoying all that. Here's what I loved though. Talking about Luke's story. Well, I enjoyed that him and R2 were having a little exchange in the ship. It felt very much like something we would have seen in the movies. So, great job on those panels there.
You get a lot of that too, like in Heir of the Empire. Yeah,
100%. But a planet that a lot of us are, you know, familiar with from EU, Nar Shaddaa. You know, very thrilled to go visit Nar Shaddaa. I was actually just this past week. I played a little bit of Jedi Outcast. And there's a whole mission in Nar Shaddaa in there, and so I love the illustrations of Nar Shaddaa because
Nar Shaddaa, what's Luke doing there?
Exactly. God, Han and Leia dialogue it works. But the
kid's lost his mind.
But I thought they illustrated this very consistently from how it was described in EU things, and so I was super happy to see that planet get pulled forward into the canon. We have I actually enjoyed the way that this was kind of split between different team ups, Luke and R2, and then, you know, Han, Leia, and Sana, and also, one of my favorites that was actually a lot of fun to follow was 3PO and Chewie. I actually really liked following those two, where they run into a Gungan. There was a Gungan in here, and that was really fun, actually. That was a fun little callback, and I actually really enjoyed for the most part, for what it was brief, but I was like, oh, Dengar's in this one. So that was cool to see Dengar in these stories. For some reason, though, back in 2015, they were like really pushing Dengar. Like, I don't know what it was. My memory is like, because he was even a playable character in the 2015 Battlefront. Like, I don't know what it was about Dengar that they were really trying to push. But I guess he has his fan base out there. Like, I've never been a big Dengar guy, but the way he was used here was fine. It was serviceable.
Wait,
it was a fun little.
Was that his canonical death?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because he got hella blown up.
No, because he's an Empire. He's not dead.
Yeah. Wait, how does he survive that?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because he got like super blown up.
He did. But he's an Empire, so he had to survive.
Yeah.
So he'll come back, I guess. Somehow we'll find out, I bet.
Well, no one's ever really gone.
Yeah. No, I tell you, he will come back, because Lucasfilm was really pushing Dengar. Like, really pushing him. No, he's an Empire, right? Doesn't he have a scene in Empire? So he's got to come back.
You're right, yeah. But he got blown up.
Again, they were really pushing him. We'll find out, I'm sure. There's got to be an explanation. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. That's a good point you make. Anyway, serviceable for this. I enjoyed that Chewie, he was an obstacle for Chewie, basically, in this. So, thoroughly enjoyed that. But yeah, you know, all these teams that they've kind of split up here, they're all trying to do the same thing. Yeah.
Okay, so I just did a Google. He has cyber enhancements, so I'm just going to assume
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. All right. So anyway, it's Dengar though, so who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, unless he really plays a massive part in this, it's Dengar. I mean,
I think that's it. I think it was just kind of look at that, guys. Look at that.
I don't know though, because I do remember 2015. They were really pushing this character. I have a feeling he's going to play a bigger part.
Wait a minute. It's kind of funny because he never mentions like, oh, I want to set the score for Chewie blowing me up.
No, never.
and Empire.
Never. Like I said, it's Dengar. Whatever.
That's my Dangmire.
Well, everybody's trying to essentially do the same thing here. They're trying to get Luke off of Nar Shaddaa. What's he doing there? So
Nar Shaddaa. He lost his mind.
Diving in though a little bit more about what made Luke's story so cool. Gracchus and the Game Master.
Yes. Okay. I was about to say, a swole, bicep ripped is something I did not have on my bingo card.
His figure's bought.
He has a figure?
Yes, I just bought it.
You're lying to me.
I'm not. I just bought it after reading this.
They made a figure of him?
Thank God they did. Yes, it's exciting. Well, you know, as he explains in this,
Does this have the little spider legs?
No, but he's actually a stormtrooper, so he's in his stormtrooper outfit. But you're getting a stormtrooper with his lightsaber, which is really neat. And the figure.
Oh, never mind. I'm stupid. I misunderstood who you're talking. I thought you were saying they made one of the Hut.
Oh, the Hut?
No.
No.
Yeah. That's what I'm excited about. I don't care about the Game Master.
Oh, I love the Game Master.
Dude, the Hut's got little spider legs. He's got
I love the Hut too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
No, Gracchus, they did not unfortunately make a figure of that I could find.
That's what I thought you were talking about. They made a toy of him?
Oh no, I looked for both. I'm sorry, because I loved them both. I thought that they were both just so cool, and I loved their characters so much in this. And the fact that the Hut is like a Jedi collector, like Luthen Rail, like he collects all these artifacts was so awesome. And I loved this whole story with Luke, and it was very Gladiator-esque. They took a little bit from like Attack of the Clones here, you know what I mean? A little inspiration there toward the end, especially.
Oh, and they're all running with lightsabers.
What a fascinating panel.
Yeah.
That was so cool. That was actually really cool art. It's part of why I love this. I just enjoyed that. But I loved the Game Master, who we find out is actually Sergeant Creel. So Sergeant Creel is the actual character we're following, who ends up betraying Gracchus. And that's how we kind of find out. He's like, oh no, he's actually like a stormtrooper. He's going to be a threat later on. I know he's coming back, because based on what's on that figure of him, he's coming back in a really cool stormtrooper outfit, and he's going to be a stormtrooper with a lightsaber, which is super sick. I loved his saber.
Bro, what if he's Snoke?
You know, whenever you can put him in there. But yeah, whenever you can throw him into the show, Josh, go ahead. But
if there's ever a character just ready for me to go, dude, what if he's Snoke?
No, that's what I mean. Whenever you can throw it out.
I'm going to do it until I get a definitive answer.
Snoke is Snoke. You got your answer?
No, someone has to be Snoke.
He was made in the unknown regions. So Thrawn made him. There you go.
No.
Yeah. Actually,
Thrawn is
Palpatine
Snoke.
made him. Thrawn is Snoke.
No.
I don't accept it. But
dude, it makes sense.
I guess.
In a certain point of view.
Not really.
Because what if his master plan was to die?
Okay. Then he died pretty quick again.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
No. Think about Snoke's design, right? He has that huge gash in his head, right? So it is Thrawn, but he has severe brain damage. Hire me, Dave. Hire me. I'll make the most wingding and Snoke explored show ever.
Yeah, anyway. Gracchus and Creel, I think, is what made a lot of that for me work. That stuff is really great. Moving into Han and Leia's storyline, because I know you definitely want to get into that. Really, really works for me. I actually really enjoyed their dialogue. Like, their banter was fantastic, and I enjoyed the moment. So first of all, I'm starting to like Santa. I'm not completely sold on Santa.
They fixed my issue with Santa,
which is no development.
Oh, not really. I'm not really his husband or his wife.
Yeah.
When they did that, I'm like, okay, fine, cool.
Which that was something last week I knew was coming. So I wasn't like that hurt about it in the first place. But like, yes, I mean, it made a lot of sense that, like, I at least remembered that they had done it for a job a while back. Like, so, and yeah, I enjoyed that toward the end there with, which, you know, kind of made Santa turn a little bit, you know, to their side because Leia ends up helping her regardless of, you know, all the BS that she was put through. But, you know,
Santa, you've lost your mind. They're not going to go for her. They're going to go for me because I'm a rebel.
Exactly. No, Han is so good in this. Han plays well. I also like, the other thing I like about Santa is she's kind of a loose cannon. You know what I mean? She just, you know, she's a little nuts in the beginning of this, actually.
No, she just straight up blows up Leia's ship.
Exactly. So she goes a little nuts, but she also is,
dude.
Yeah.
What if she's Snoke?
I should have seen that one coming. Should have seen that one.
I know. I was wondering why he didn't.
Why didn't
Actually, original thing when he said she was a little nuts, I was going, dude, she's literally the Joker. If you think about
it. Anyway, yeah. So far, I'm liking Santa. Not 100% sold, but I do agree with you. They did a better job developing her this time, a little bit more, and I'm sure that will just continue throughout the series. So that'll be good. What I really enjoyed is that moment when Han and Santa are fighting, and then Leia pulls out the blaster, takes a little charge. I thought that was a dope moment for Leia. You know,
look what you've done. You made her man.
Exactly. So thought that moment was so sick, and then as we were saying, and it does obviously all lead to them having their little gladiator saber moment, their little Attack of the Clones moment there at the end, which was really, really neat. I thought that was just such a great way to end this whole thing. And then the game master gets revealed that he's Sergeant Creel. We do actually get Vader by the end of it, and I love that Creel will be working for him moving forward, or has been working for him. Has been working for him, actually, as was revealed. And I like that he was like kind of giving Luke a little bit of Jedi training throughout this. That's another thing I really like about Creel.
Little pointers.
Yeah, little pointers. This is another thing I really find interesting about Creel. I think that this is villain wise, as far as new villains they've introduced, I mean, this is a pretty good one so far. So really fascinated for the rest of his story and moving into that, which I know, again, we get more development throughout. I think Vader down and that, but yeah, Vader was really good for the little moment he got in this. Like you said, he's very cold throughout this series, and they kept with that. So I was really enjoying that. But I also, what I actually found to be more impressive about these 6 issues is that we didn't actually transition to see what was going on with Vader a lot, yet they were able to keep it mostly interesting throughout, and it didn't, I was actually sitting there thinking, wow, there's really none of those Imperial transitions, to balance it out.
Yeah.
And yet it still really worked out. And then obviously next week we're going to be doing a lot of Imperial stuff because of Vader down, but yeah.
Well, I actually have a question, a little, I don't know if it's a plot hole, you could correct me.
I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
So there's a EMP bomb that goes off, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's R2 working?
What do you mean? Like after the bomb goes off?
Yeah. And R2 is still functioning.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
I was like, I didn't know if there's an end cannon thing about it, because I was like, why is that still running?
That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
That should have taken him down.
You would think. Yeah, that's a good point. I do remember the EMP bomb. Yeah. I guess I didn't question it.
Also, I asked about that would affect the lightsaber too, because there's electronic mechanic to it, but
yeah, maybe it is a little plot hole. I will say I was actually very happy with how action packed the comic actually ended up becoming.
Yeah, it was a quick read too.
It was really quick. Yeah, yeah. I actually enjoyed, like, it was just a really good balance of like dialogue and action. Like it actually. Yeah, it really kept me going. It was a page turner. It really was. Like, I was surprised by how much of a page turner this actually was. So, yeah, I mean, it's really fascinating because when this had come out, the title of the movie hadn't come out, but I noticed a lot of Last Jedi.
Oh my God, every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes, Last Jedi. which is fascinating because the title of the movie hadn't. Oh, there went my camera again. Sorry, that was Kathleen Kennedy. Turn my camera off. But there was a lot of
Allegedly.
Yeah. There was a lot of Last Jedi. You're right. References.
I was waiting for Luke to go, what am I? Some sort of Last Jedi?
Yeah, I don't even think Force Awakens was released yet when this one was out. I'd have to double check that, but yeah.
Yeah.
It just got released. It was in theaters.
Yeah, I think it was new.
Yeah. So 2015. So, yeah. So it was really interesting to hear a lot of that being said even before that Last Jedi title had been revealed to the world. But so, and then the other thing I was going to point out, though, is the holocron moment was a standout. Those panels looked very good, and that was a very cool moment. So really enjoyed that as well. But yeah, any other things that we missed here that you got on this?
I'm thinking real quick.
Yeah.
So we covered Leia, we covered Han's wife.
You pretty much quoted a lot of the standout dialogue, which a lot of it was Han, because I agree, like a lot of his
give me
dialogue
my dang gun.
really stood out. I really enjoyed the moment when Leia kind of shut him out. He was trying to explain himself, and
she slams the door in his face.
Yeah, that was a good.
That was
a good Leia moment, and actually getting him to admit the truth a little bit, more. But it's starting to really build that chemistry even more so. I'm guessing we're going to get a lot of that. So that way, again, in Empire, it's going to feel that much more developed. Hopefully, next time we put that movie on. So, yeah, man,
I just blanked on his wife's name.
Senna.
Her ship's cool. I liked her ship.
Oh, yeah. She's a really good pilot. That's another interesting thing I found. Like her and Han.
I was like, when she says, like, oh, let me guess, he told you that story about the Kessel Run again.
Yeah. I remember when I was reading this, I didn't really have a lot to reference it. I wanted to finish the comic series, though. I remember the first time I was reading this, I was wondering, like, who would win in a race, Han or Santa, I remember kind of thinking that to myself, like, maybe that could make, like, a cool YouTube video or something, just a one-off thing.
I don't spend my money on Han because he would just cheat.
True, that's a good point, yeah. And also, luck is just always on his side, as we know, so, yeah. Until Ben! Then luck wasn't on his side. But, yeah, man. Anyway, anything else on this, or did we cover it?
I mean, it's a pretty thin.
It really is.
It's a good read, but it's a very thin 7 issues. Like, there's not that much meat to the bones. Like, it's basically 30 minutes of a movie. It's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah. Really fun. Really good page turner. I'm excited to keep on reading these at this point. This one actually, at this point, I'm really into the series. I can at least say that. And I'm glad we're going into Vader Down next week, because a lot of fun stuff, a lot of maybe some Dr. Afro next week. So that'll be really fun.
Her first appearance is very expensive.
Is it? I bet it is. Yes. Yeah.
It's very expensive.
I'm actually surprised I got her Kenner figure as cheap as I did when I got it.
Yeah, I remember when you told me you found it. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. That was a really neat buy.
That Kenner figure was your Woodstock.
I suppose so. But yeah, man, unless something else massive kind of comes up by next week, I think that this will probably be what we're covering, most likely. So, yeah.
Quick and easy. I literally read this, 20 minutes before the show?
Yeah, these are really simple to get through. Actually, Josh, we probably read it at the same time. I didn't have time this week.
Same. I've had the busiest week, so it's just like, have you all read up yet? I was actually watching The Companion with my parents.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, no, but I will in like an hour.
Yeah. No, this is that's fine. Yeah. Even if we got to cram them in before the shows, then we'll get to them. And
I think it's better that way, because I think most of this I would have kind of forgot.
That's true. It's usually fresh, even though I've been taking notes. I mean, it's still a lot more fresh, and I feel like I can expound on the commenting on it a little bit more that way.
If you asked me to like mention anything from last week,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I think Luke fought like Boba Fett Blythe at one point, and that's
yeah. Like the broad strokes you can kind of remember, but the like actual details are a little bit harder. So yeah, so we'll continue this next week is what I reckon, and hopefully we continue to have fun with the series, and I know it's Vader down, so it'll be good. So.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what you got to read and what's required, what's not, and I'll make sure I send that over to you. I had to look at my Vader down again and go through that. But all right, perfect. Well, guys, that's been a fun show today. Like we had a lot to cover, a little more than usual, so that was a lot of fun to do. And,
thank God, because this would have been like 20 minutes.
It's kind of like, oh, Vader's down is going to be a little more hefty. We get a little bit more detail, I think, to cover in that one. So, if I'm not mistaken, but we could always figure things out. So, yeah, you're right, because this comic discussion was a lot quicker than last week because we just.
Before us get started, we'll throw in an episode review of Ewok Adventures #1.
Sure. Sure. Why not?
What everyone's demanding.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, so a lot of fun today. Thank you guys for joining again. A couple things to kind of plug. I do have my Andor initial trailer reaction out there on the channel if you guys want to check it out. It's much appreciated, so definitely do that. Something new on this channel that we haven't done before. I have a song out. It's called The Party. You guys can check it out. It's nothing that great, but it's something, so check it out.
Good.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you.
When we were having technical sound difficulties, I was actually using that to test.
Oh, wow. Oh, perfect.
So you got a view out of it too.
Oh,
while I try to set up my sound.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's doing a little bit better than I thought it would. For releasing a song. So
did you actually put it on Spotify? I never said.
It's on Spotify. If you guys like it enough, I'm not asking you guys to do this, but if you wanted to buy it on Amazon for 69 cents or whatever, you can do that too. If you just wanted to have your own personal file of it. I wasn't able to get it onto Apple. They let's just say screw them right now as far as that goes, just because they wanted me to not only change my artist name, which I actually would have put my last name in parentheses for them. I was willing to compromise, but they wanted me to change it on all the platforms in order to be on their platform. So screw them. Yeah, I don't know. So screw them for that. But if they want to come and not that they need it, but if they wanted my song, they can let me keep my artist name and I'll put it on Apple. So that's the reason I put it on Amazon as well.
What is the artist name, though? For those kids at home not to look on Spotify.
Sure, it's just my first name, Dom. So you can type in Dom the Party. It's been popping up on all the search browsers pretty much for me, Spotify, YouTube, if you type it in. It's on Amazon, so you guys can buy it there, and then you can have it in your Apple library if you buy it on Amazon. So just so you can add the personal file. So, yep. Not going to ask you to do that, but I appreciate all the support.
I have a question.
Yes.
As someone who enjoyed the song.
Yeah.
When your full album is released, will there be a physical copy?
There is not. I plan to eventually have a physical copy, and it won't be a full album. It'll be an EP. So 6 songs is kind of what I have in mind right now, I believe. So I'll have to look back into that. But you're going to have an EP, and I do plan to at least get a limited amount of physical copies and see how it goes. So
sounds good.
Might not be on release day. You'll have it digitally first, and then.
I mean, it's kind of the status quo for everything right now.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, all the support is always appreciated, and just keep tuning into Starlight Shadows every week. We appreciate those of you who are tuning in. Not very many of you right now, so get the word out. Please tell your friends about this if they like Star Wars and they just want to see a couple of idiots talk Star Wars. This is where you come. No, it's all about the content here. So, guys, let's go ahead and get out of here. Josh, you got a song this week? You got something to play?
Yeah, actually, I just put out a new song.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's called Josh the Party.
Josh the
look it up on.
Yep. All right. Perfect.
But no, go check out a song. It's pretty good, pretty fun. Kind of gives me some Ween vibes.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Hopefully you guys do that. It'd mean a lot if you just listen to it. You don't have to like it, but listen to it. Yeah, guys. That being said, we're gonna go ahead and get out of here. My name's Dom. That's Josh. This has been Starlight Shadows. This is Starlight Shadows. Not has been. We will be back. This is Starlight Shadows.
If they fumble the bag, we will be the last of the Starlight or whatever I said it was going to be.
Right. And without further ado, before we get out of here, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section, share this with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. It's always much appreciated. And we will talk to you guys later.